Today's episode of The Amazing Nerdiverse is brought to you by Silence. Shh.
Hello, welcome to The Amazing Nerdiverse. I'm Jeff Grants.
I'm Steven Tukert.
This is the podcast where we talk about all things good and geeky that make up The Amazing Nerdiverse here in our echo chamber.
Echo chamber of doom. Doom.
Yeah.
Doom.
Doom.
Ha, ha,
Doom. Yeah, we still have not handled the echo situation here.
It's only because of laziness.
Yes, we got all the stuff we need to do it. We're looking at it right now. Just
Not going to do it.
don't feel like it.
It's going to wait another couple of weeks.
Suck it up.
And if you don't like it and you leave a negative review, then you're a coward.
Yeah, suck it.
Suck it.
All right, with all that being said, let's jump into... Well, wait a minute. Before we jump into the news, let me think. I saw some movies
We
recently.
don't got that kind of time.
Oh, you're funny. What have you seen any of the movies we've talked about recently?
have
Deadpool
not.
2?
No.
Solo? Okay.
No.
I saw a couple movies. I saw Incredibles 2.
Yep.
Real quick thoughts on that. A lot of fun. Right up there with the first one for me.
Okay.
I think the first one's a little bit stronger, just because I think it mostly falls on the villain of the first movie. I enjoyed a little bit more than the villain of this movie. Mm-hmm. I don't really spoil anything, but yeah. And then Jack again is like a highlight. Mm-hmm. Like I think Jack, like rewatching the first movie, it'd been a little while since I've seen it. So rewatching the first movie, Jack doesn't really have a whole lot to do in the movie. Mm-hmm. Except for the very end where they come home and Syndrome has him. Mm-hmm. And but I remember all the stuff that happened in the Jack attack, like short film that was on the DVD when it came out. Mm-hmm. And so this movie has a lot more fun stuff with Jack. And that's like all the best stuff of the movie. Like there's a scene with Jack versus a raccoon that like I could have watched a whole movie of that. Like it was the kind of thing I wish they just kept going or they kept bringing it back and stuff like that because it was just delightful. But yeah, I think it was strong. I like the new additions to the cast and stuff. The Bob Odenkirk and was it Catherine Keener?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was Catherine Keener.
Bitch.
I mean, you a bitch.
You a bitch.
But yeah, I thought I like the new additions to the film. The Bob Odenkirk and Catherine Keener. I like that stuff. It's mostly just in the way the villain ties into the story. I felt like the first movie was a little bit more personal with Buddy wanting to be Mr. Incredible's sidekick and stuff.
Okay.
And I like how they flipped it this time where we kind of get to see more of Elastigirl being the superhero while Bob is back at home dealing with the kids. And that stuff was fun too. Like I like that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I say it was a strong. I'd still give it a 9 out of 10. Mm-hmm. And then there was a couple of things I would like to see done a little bit better, handled a little differently. I still can't really. I mean, if one of my only real problems with the movie is that I wish one scene lasted 20 minutes longer, then I can't knock it too much.
Seems like not a bad thing.
Yeah. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for The Incredibles. I also saw Tag. It was funny. It was fine.
Yeah.
Like the cast. They were fun.
I heard Jeremy Renner broke his arms or something.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, watching the movie, where that happened. And also there's some stuff in the movie where his arms are CG in it.
Could you tell?
No.
Really?
No, I couldn't. Yeah, I don't know where.
It's probably where he's just standing still.
I mean, I kind of forgot about it and stuff. But like, I mean, it's got to be a lot of the movie because he broke his arms like 3 days into shooting or something like that. So I don't know.
What the fuck was he doing?
He was doing some ninja shit in this movie. It was pretty great. Like, because the whole point is his character's never been tagged. And like, the whole, if you don't know what the movie is, it's a group of friends for 30 years. They've been playing the same game of tag. Mm-hmm. And every year during the month of May, the game is on and they try to tag each other in ridiculous ways. And it's kind of funny seeing them kind of come back together when they all realize like, oh shit, the game's starting now. Yeah. Like kind of that kind of stuff. And then Jeremy Renner's great. Like, just his whole thing is he's never been tagged and he he just avoids it in every way possible. He's like so fucking slick with that stuff. And it's just kind of fun to watch.
Does he get tagged at the end of the movie?
I don't want to spoil anything, man.
Does he?
He gets tagged right in the nuts. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it. It's fun. Like, and it had a little bit more like, just a little bit more heart than I thought it would. It's about a movie about friendship, stuff like that. And I really liked how that stuff worked. I mean, it's not a perfect movie or anything, but it was enjoyable. It was fun. I had a laugh. I give that a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah. And then I just got back today. I just saw Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Were there dinosaurs in it?
Spoiler alert. No. Yeah, there were dinosaurs. There's dinosaurs. The first Jurassic Park is one of my all-time favorite movies, and even the lesser films in the movie, they're still watchable for me. Like, I just enjoy that world and those kind of situations with the dinosaurs and all that stuff. It's just fun. Like, nothing else has, like, people are getting sick of the Jurassic. Nothing makes me happy, Steven. This is what you don't understand. There's no other dinosaur movies that like come close to this.
Are there any dinosaur movies?
I mean, like shitty, straight to Sci-Fi Channel bullshit or stuff like that, or you'll maybe see a dinosaur in something for some reason or another, but like it's not a dinosaur thing. Mm-hmm. And like I don't get what the complaints about this series. I mean, are they perfect movies? No, but like I mean the later ones. The first one I think is a perfect movie. I love the first Jurassic Park. But like Jurassic World was the sequel I always wanted to see. I always wanted to see what happens when they open the park. Mm-hmm. And I hear constant complaints about these movies like, oh, they're doing this again and stuff. Yeah, but how many fucking Transformers movies? Oh, they're doing this again. They're just smashing metal into metal. Yeah. Like, and just god-awful like mess of CG and stuff. Like, at least this stuff, like, I can follow it and I care about it. I care about the dinosaurs. And in this movie, they really affect you with some of that stuff. Like, you actually care about some of the dinosaurs and some of the things you're seeing in this movie. Like, the plot is, Bryce Dallas Howard's character. She goes back to find Owen.
Does she wear regular shoes in this one?
They actually, I watched for this. When you first see her, she's in an elevator and like it starts at the bottom. She's wearing high heels, pan up to reveal it's her kind of thing. And like she's in an office or whatever doing her thing. And then when they go to the island, like they're getting off the plane, and you see her feet first get off the plane, and she's wearing boots and like stepping off the plane. And it's like, yeah. I mean, I rewatched the first one last night, and I was like, yeah, she would wear high heels. She's a business person. She's not a person that's supposed to be going out in the field and stuff.
Yeah, but she wouldn't stop to try to find a pair of boots.
Are you going to stop and to look around for a pair of shoes when you're running for your life?
Dude, you're going to snap your ankles running in heels. Have you ever tried to run in heels? No, you haven't.
No,
it's hard.
Because I'm not a businesswoman.
I am, and it's hard to do.
That's just such an easy thing to knock it for, but it's part of the character. The part of the character, she's not prepared for this world. She's all about the the business side of things. She doesn't see the animals as like living things. She sees them as like, I think he says like numbers on a spreadsheet or something like that.
Because she's a stupid girl?
No, it has nothing to do with her being a girl or any of that. It's simply the fact that her character is...
Because she's an icky girl.
Yeah, she's icky. She's gross. Girls are gross.
Yeah.
That's what we learned. That's the moral of that movie. Girls are gross.
Girls are icky.
No, but yeah, it's all about the character, and I don't see it as a female thing. Like, I thought she was a fine character. Is like she is one of those uptight, business only, like they just see the work. They don't see the real people or creatures or animals behind the stuff. Yeah. And she changes between that movie and this movie, and she is more caring and stuff like that. And she is more prepared for what she's going into this time, and I kind of like that. Like, she's like one of the few people that went back willingly, like in these situations. Like the first, like in Jurassic World, like I rewatched all of them as I always do when a movie comes out. I rewatch all the sequels. The Lost World, Malcolm goes there. He only goes there because his girlfriend went there. He goes to Julianne Moore. He goes to get her, and his daughter tagged along. An idiot, gymnast, stupid. And then in the third movie,
what are you gonna do?
In the third movie, was it
Sam
Alan
Neill?
Grant? Sam Neill, yeah. Okay. He goes in the third movie, and he thinks he's being hired by William H. Macy and Tia Leone, are like posing as this rich couple. And they say they'll fund all his operation. dig is about to go under. They're losing funding, and that's the only reason he only agrees to go on the plane and kind of be a tour guide flying. They said we get permission to fly low over the island. They're bullshit, and they're just going to get their son who landed on the island when he was parasailing.
What do they need him for?
Their son?
No. the Sam Neill.
Because he knows dinosaurs. Because they're idiots, too. Like, William H. Macy's like, you're the only person that's been on this island. He's like, I wasn't on this island. This is the second. This is Site B. It was like, oh. They didn't even know. It was fucking
Where's
dummies.
Jeff Goldblum, then?
I don't know. Yeah, he had been on that island. Because the second and third movie take place on Isla Sorna. And the first in the Jurassic World
Star Wars?
movies are Isla Nublar.
That sounds like a Star Wars planet.
Misa got to Isla Nublar.
That does sound like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I like this world. I like these characters, and I like to see it continue going. Jeff Goldblum was in the movie a very little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he'd be in it more.
I mean, going into the movie, I figured he would just be in the one scene, like in the courtroom thing.
Yeah.
And, I mean, his ass isn't going back to that island. It's like, fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice.
Can you do a Jeff Goldblum?
No.
It's kind of tricky, isn't it? I feel like if I try it, I would easily slip into Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He's the best. I'm not gonna try to imitate greatness.
Do you have a top few Jeff Goldblum movies?
I mean, Jurassic Park,
One,
The Fly.
That's two.
I mean, I fucking love him in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Like, I think those might be my top three. Like, I mean, I love Life Aquatic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think. What are the other
Did
ones?
you ever watch him on, what was it, Law and Order? Oh, yeah. He's great on that.
I never watched any
He's
of those kind of
He's
shows.
Jeff Goldblum all over the place. Being a cop.
Yeah.
Figuring shit out. Being all touchy-feely with stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I say I really enjoyed about half of the movie.
Okay.
Like, it starts off, they're going to the island, the tornado, the volcano is about to blow. Like,
Dinosaur tornado.
Yeah. I mean, the Sci-Fi Channel was like, they're so close to hitting that formula. The volcano is going to blow. It's like a long dormant thing that recently became active again. And it's going to blow. And these dinosaurs are fucked if no one helps them.
Why don't they just put a bunch of cement in it?
Yeah, they should have.
Right?
Then there'd be no movie. They don't use logic. But yeah, I mean, basically, like, someone's got to save these animals, and Jeff Goldblum and a lot of people are just like, let them die, man. Fuck them. They had their chance.
Yeah, fuck them.
But like, there are people that like, these things went extinct already. Do you want to live in a world like she makes a great point when she's talking to a potential backer or potential donor on the phone or something, and she's like, do you have kids? She's like, in your kid's lifetime, dinosaurs have existed, and they're gonna go, and within their lifetime they'll go extinct if we don't do something. Like, so. Yeah, the lady could have just said, so the fuck what?
So the fuck what? Yeah. They shouldn't have been here in the first place, bro.
I know. See, the way, I mean, everyone's always complaining. They're doing this again, but like, it's always different people. It's always different, and they're always the assholes. Always the assholes that think, we're going to do it right.
They're not.
And I think they're never going to do it right. And none of the characters ever learn from what the other characters do, and that's kind of the point. There
was some meme I saw where it was like, scientists are figuring out that they're just like a few years away from recreating a dinosaur, and a thing was underneath was like, bro, there's literally like 4 movies on why that's a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's called mad science. It's not sane science.
Don't make a fucking monster. It's a monster. It's a monster.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to go, reptiles, birds, whatever the fuck they actually are.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not.
It's just a monster.
It's a monster.
It's a killing machine.
Try to tell me that it's not a monster.
Yeah. It's not a monster.
Well, yeah, it is.
Oh, well, see? There you go.
That's why I was on the debate team.
I'll always enjoy it. I mean, these later movies have gone into some territory that I always thought was kind of dumb. Like, I always heard the rumors of the movies about the dinosaurs being used as weapons and stuff like that. And I've never really liked
Like
that
putting
stuff.
lasers on them?
Yeah. And like, I never really liked those things and stuff. Like a dinosaur with a freaking laser beam attached to its head. No, I never liked those plot lines and stuff. And it's things that they're kind of exploring in these. But then there's other stuff they're exploring that are kind of going in the direction that I do want it to go. I would like to see this franchise continue on in like a, Rise of the Planet of the Apes type thing, like where eventually the dinosaurs outnumber the people. Like,
I don't think I like that.
I love it.
You want to?
When I'm watching a movie, yeah.
Okay.
I can watch a movie and not think I have to be trapped in that world.
You don't do that?
No, because I'm a sane person.
Wonder what that's like.
I can separate fiction from reality. You see it and you're like, this is the news.
This is the news.
Yeah, so like I said, really liked about half the movie. There's some things and ideas, and the ending of the movie can kind of go in a couple different directions, and maybe hopefully they'll take the path that I'd prefer them to go down, rather than back into some of the similar stuff that they've been doing in the last couple movies. Mm-hmm. But overall, I'd say I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10 what?
Dinosaur teeth on a necklace.
Dinosaur teeth necklace.
Dinosaur teeth necklace.
DNA.
It's got room for got little beads and stuff, and it's got spacers as beads for like 10 dinosaur teeth, but there's only 7 of them.
Where are the other 4?
Wow.
What?
All right, now we can jump into the news from the Nerdiverse. Here's a little quick update, because we talk about this
I hate updates.
All right, we'll skip it. Now, every few episodes, we always have to touch back on what's going on with the Disney, Fox, Comcast debacle.
Yarp.
All that, not really a debacle. Not for Fox. They're just ready to receive whatever they get. So Disney has upped their, originally Disney proposed to buy Fox, and then Comcast came in and offered, I think it was 50-something billion from Disney. Then Comcast came in with like 65 billion. Now Disney has upped their bid to 71.3 billion. Fox has accepted that offer, which they did the first time, and then they were considering Fox's in, so Disney upped it again. And that's going to be originally it was all stock, was their first offer. Now it's part stock, part cash. When Comcast came in, they offered all cash. Comcast still has the option to increase their bid and everything. Apparently, the report right now is saying that Fox is really trying to avoid the Comcast sale because it may not be approved by the federal government, because Comcast is like the largest like internet provider company and stuff, and it would just be too big of a thing. But, AT&T bought Time Warner, and that was a thing that was like they were waiting a long time for. I believe that's the companies. I could be completely wrong, but we were waiting on to hear back from the government, and they approved that. So but Fox is concerned that maybe the Comcast deal might not get approved, where the Disney deal is more likely to. And I think we want the Disney deal to go through because we want all the characters. All we really want is
that's all we give a shit about.
All we give a shit about is the.
That's really it, isn't it?
Yeah,
X-Men and Fantastic Four. That's all we give a shit about.
That's all we give a shit about. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Everything else can go fuck itself. Yeah. I don't need to see another Predator, any of that, or whatever the stuff that they own.
Nah.
TV shows. Simpsons has gone on long enough. All that.
I like The Simpsons being around.
Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change with all that.
Yeah, I like Simpsons being around, though.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, the only thing this is going to affect is the Marvel stuff coming into their universe.
Would you redo the X-Files?
No, I think it didn't. I think
leave it be.
I never watched the last season. Even though I was really excited for it to come back, and I planned on going, and I just didn't hear great things, and I was just kind of bummed. I didn't want to, because the 6 episodes that came before the season 10, I guess. A couple of them were all right.
Yeah.
I enjoyed a couple of them, and it was just cool seeing them back.
Season 11.
Season 11 is the last season they did,
right.
And I haven't watched any of that yet.
They're okay.
So I don't know. Yeah.
There's some good moments in there.
Yeah. That's what I figured. I was going to get around to watching it eventually. Because when the season 11 was about to start, I started rewatching season 10 because it had been a couple of years, right? Was it
there was I want to say maybe 2.
Yeah. Because they didn't come right away the next season or
right.
whatever. But there's a lot of Fox stuff that kind of up in the air. But really, that's the one thing that I think is going to change. I think Disney knows how to make money. They're going to continue making money with the properties that make money. So the properties that deserve to have sequels and continue going and stuff like that are going to. Mm-hmm. And the ones that don't, they're probably going to try to figure out how they can make money off of them. But and then they're probably going to come up with some situation where they can continue making R-rated movies, because a lot of these properties that they're acquiring should be rated R, like Predator and Alien and stuff. Mm-hmm. And Kingsman's Fox, isn't it?
I don't know.
I know that what's his name? Matthew Vaughn wants to keep making a lot of Kingsman. Because he's talking about doing like a Statesman's movie and a
I was surprised
Kingsman
how little
Origins thing.
What's his face was in it?
Channing Tatum?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They could do one with him in it, like him and Jeff Bridges and Halle Berry. Yeah, they could do all kinds of fun stuff. And they was talking about doing like a Kingsman origin thing, like just or I don't know origin.
I don't know if
like,
I need an origin. Like
turn of the century kind of Kingsman thing. I don't know how far back though. And then there was something about a Kingsman TV series too, like some kind of.
That makes sense.
He's talking about doing like a bunch of stuff. He's really wanting to continue that, and he has also talked about doing another Kick-Ass related thing, which they did a new Kick-Ass story in the comics with there's a female Kick-Ass now.
Yeah.
And stuff, so they could possibly do a movie version of that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Did you see the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse trailer?
I did.
What'd you think?
Loved it.
Me too.
Can't wait.
That looks really cool. I saw it. I saw it on the big screen today.
Did you ever watch New Girl?
Yes.
Okay. So hearing that dude's voice for Peter Parker.
Oh, I love that guy, Jake Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in Tag. He's in Jurassic World. He's in a lot of stuff. But I of course loved him first.
I thought
on
he's
New
an
Girl.
interesting choice for Peter Parker.
Yeah, but it works. It totally works. Great cast though. Aside from just him, you got Dopes, Shamik Moore, Haley Steinfeld as Spider-Gwen popping right up there at the end. That's great. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see them just do a full-on Spider-Verse thing. They could do like Spider-Man Noir, and like they could do the Spider-Man from the video game, whatever. Like, I don't know what's different about that one.
I know Neil Patrick Harris did a voice for like one of the games.
Yeah.
Like he could play like a Spider-Man.
They could totally have a Tobey Maguire one. They could have
that would be great.
Tom Hardy do Venom. Like
yeah.
You could do all kinds of fun stuff with that.
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man 2099, the future Spider-Man. Like you do some fun shit. But so also rounding out, it's a great cast, man. Like Liev Schreiber's Kingpin, Lily Tomlin's Aunt May, Atlanta's Brian Tyree Henry, Paperboy, I think is the dad, the father, the cop. I really like that.
I liked him.
Where he just doesn't like makes him say,
"Yeah,
I love you" from the cop. Yeah, that was great. And then Mahershala Ali from Luke Cage, Cottonmouth, is the voice of Aaron Davis, who is the same character that Donald Glover plays in Spider-Man Homecoming, who is Miles' uncle. Mm-hmm. And in the comics, Aaron Davis is the Prowler. Now, I'm not 100% sure if the Prowler in this movie is his uncle or not.
Okay.
Because I heard rumored that the Prowler in this movie is going to be the 616 version. Because the villains in this are the Kingpin, Prowler, and the Ultimate Green Goblin, which is the goblin, like the monster, like Hulk Goblin and stuff. And you can see him in the trailer and stuff. Spider-Man fighting him.
Appreciate that kind of goblin.
Yeah, for this.
Yeah.
For this, I wouldn't want to see it in a main
not in a movie,
main universe Spider-Man movie. No, I want to see Green Goblin done right. Like I don't want to see like a Power Rangers looking thing. Like they did or the fucking weird ass.
I went back and watched Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Yeah.
He cries a lot.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Cries a lot more than I thought he did.
Yeah. He's got an ugly ass cry face too.
What are you gonna do, man?
That's his face. All right, so now we can add Silk to the list of potential Sony Spider-Man movies. This is in development right now. Silk, have you heard of Silk?
No. I know what it is.
It's a new Spider-Man related character. She is a Asian American character, vigilante. She is a Cindy Moon is the character's name. She was created in 2014 by Dan Slott and Humberto Ramos. Really cool costume. Mm-hmm. Her origin story is she was bitten by the same spider as Peter on the same day.
Okay.
And she didn't reveal it to him until like 13 years later.
The fuck's she been doing then?
I think I heard. I didn't read everything about her, but I heard some stuff about how like she was apparently like chained up in a basement for like 6 years or
I was
something
about to
like
say,
that.
because like if I was Peter, I was like, bitch, you've seen me on the news. You've seen how hard this is.
Help
I could have
me.
used.
Yeah, but she's by all
Like,
accounts.
you remember
she's
that
a really,
shit when there were 6 of them fighting me?
Yeah. Yeah, so by all accounts, like she's a really cool, interesting character, and it'd be cool to see, you know, an Asian American character, superhero character get introduced. Interestingly enough, Cindy Moon is a character's name. This character, Cindy Moon, was played in Spider-Man: Homecoming and Avengers: Infinity War by Tiffany Espenson. So there is that character is in the movies already. Like it's kind of like how they just kind of fill the background roles,
Like
or
you might as well
side
just
characters.
put that as like a character from.
Yeah, you might as well draw from the comics
Yeah.
if you're gonna, you know, put characters in there. So she was on the school bus. She goes to a school,
Okay.
and she was on the school bus in Infinity War. Just like they had a Betty Brant. Was that? Yeah, Betty Brant was like the girl on
That
the
was
news.
really funny.
And the
That dude asked him out. And she's like, no, I've already got a date. And he's like, okay.
just like they just dejected. It was great. So while we're still on the topic of Spider-Man, costume designer Louise Frogley, who worked on Spider-Man: Homecoming and Ant-Man and the Wasp, she isn't working on the sequel. But in a recent interview, she said, I'm not working on that film, but the costumes will have very big changes because in the film, Spider-Man becomes more like a man and not a teenager. So I think he might be kind of developing his own suit for this movie. And I would prefer that because I always rather Spider-Man make his own suit. Like I love the suit that Tony Stark made or whatever and all that.
Yeah.
But when he's got all that gear, he's just like, I was listening to a podcast. I think it was telling Steve Dave, Brian Quinn from Practical Jokers. He said it best. He's like, he's just Iron Man Jr. in that suit.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, like Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man because he's Spider-Man and he solves all of his problems himself and does all these things himself. Like, I like for him to have the web shooters, but it's just too high tech for me.
Okay.
And that's really the only issue I had in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Like, I love that movie so much, but that was the one thing I would have changed.
Well, I mean, at least it makes sense within context of that, where
It does, yeah, it does make sense within context of the universe.
like Tony would want to,
protect him.
yeah,
Yeah.
he fucked it all up in Infinity War.
Yeah.
No, he didn't really. I mean, I'm a little harsh on him.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
You know what part? Like I watched it again.
Yeah.
Infinity War. You know what part like got me a little bit?
What?
That like I don't know if I didn't miss the first time or something, but like when he kind of does, he's kind of joking around, and Tony kind of knights him. He's like, "All right, you're an Avenger now." The look on Peter's face was like it meant something.
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's cool."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. And,
Spider-Man's my favorite.
what?
Spider-Man's my favorite.
Yeah.
I like Spider-Man. I don't know
Okay.
if you knew that.
I did not. Of course I fucking do. In high school, you fucking Spider-Man notebooks and shit.
Hey, everybody. You know Spider-Man's my favorite.
Did you know that Spider-Man was my favorite?
Shut the fuck up.
We know, asshole. All right, so speaking of your favorite,
And those were the teachers.
I was kind of burying the lead here with the Spider-Man news because the big news is that Tom Holland revealed the title for the next
he did?
Spider-Man movie. Did you not see this?
No.
Oh wow, it was great. He did like a little video. It was cute. He was like, you know how he's always, you know, spoiling stuff. Like they always like a thing of him like accidentally revealing spoilers and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like he did a video where he's like, sorry guys, there's no news to report, you know, about the new Spider-Man, but you know, we're working on it and everything. In fact, I just got the script, and he holds up like a tablet and it has the cover on it and it just says the title or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I just got the script. I'm about to read this. I'm super excited. And so the title of the new Spider-Man movie is Spider-Man: Far From Home.
See, I've heard like a rumor about what Avengers 4, like all those characters didn't die. They just kind of got put into a different universe.
I think they're in the Soul World.
Okay. In the Soul Stone?
Yeah.
Hang on real quick. I just saw this. I don't think it's real, but like it's a cool, like...
Yeah, that's what people say in the third movie should be.
Awesome.
Spider-Man homies with Spider-Man and Miles Morales. I would if they did Miles Morales in the third movie, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Because by that point, you're establishing Spider-Man not only in his 2 solo movies, but also Civil War and Avengers 3 and 4.
Would you put him at the same
Avengers
age?
5. No, at that point, I'd want Miles to be like 15 at that point.
Okay.
And Peter to be a little older by then.
All right.
Maybe I don't know. I kind of like Peter being an adult, like in the Into the Spider-Verse thing. Like I'd kind of prefer him to be more along that age.
Well, I guess that would be okay because like Tony will probably be dead by then. So if Spider-Man's kind of taking on that role to usher in the next guy.
Here's the thing. Like I know they're always talking about, killing off some of those main Avengers or whatever in the movies. Mm-hmm. But the thing that rubs me the wrong way about that is in comic books,
they never die.
They never die. They always come back.
Well, Tony could be the voice in the next whoever's the next.
Yeah, but
Iron Man.
it's kind of like the bummers of reality in real life is that like these people can't keep playing these characters forever.
Right.
And so we're gonna have to see a universe that goes on with these. There's plenty of new characters that come in, but there's still gonna be the thing is like, what if that new character can interact with Cap or Tony?
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. It's gonna be kind of a bummer to not have those things.
Like early on when they started all this stuff, obviously they're not following that now. Like Kevin Feige had said, one of the ideas is to kind of do like a James Bond type thing. Like we'll have another actor play Iron Man and it'll just kind of keep going with stories. And it just doesn't really work right now for that.
Yeah, because it's been so many movies with these people that they only really did that once or twice or a couple times in the MCU.
Who you got?
They did it with Hulk and War Machine.
Anyone else?
But again, other than Hulk was in his own movie, and then he got recast or whatever. But that was after one movie, and the same with War Machine. It was after one movie, but he was just a supporting character.
Yeah,
and he's even been the same character for like 9 movies at this point. So like, it's really hard to kind of imagine if they did that with somebody who's already been in like 9 movies.
Yeah,
like recasting one of those. And like, I just think by the time that happens, that's when we will start seeing some losing of interest in the MCU. I'm
okay with that if it opens up but it's like, I'd really like to see some of the X-Men or Fantastic Four with teaming up with Cap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're at the point like where we're just going to be able to introduce all these new characters. Mm-hmm. I mean, even if that stuff doesn't happen, which is going to happen.
Yeah.
But like, even if it doesn't, like you got Captain Marvel coming up and all these other characters that you could potentially introduce. You got continuing on with just Doctor Strange and Black Panther and Spider-Man and Captain Marvel and those characters. There's still so many other characters to interact with and play around with and introduce to that universe.
Well, you know what I'm thinking? When they do Fantastic Four and X-Men, what if they have, like, how they did Hank Pym is like, what, back in the 60s? Mm-hmm. What if they also had Fantastic Four, like, kind of back in, like, the 70s or something?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But then they're still not. But the thing, like, I don't mind. People keep bringing up, like, the idea of Fantastic Four being set in the 60s, which is fine because they debuted in the 60s in the comics, so that'd be kind of neat. But to me, that
you
doesn't.
Want him now?
Well, I'd rather have him now for the simple fact of the matter being, they're finally in the MCU. We can see them interact with the other characters. And if they're set in the 60s, we're not going to see them interacting with the other characters. So it'd be the same as if they were just another Fox movie or something.
Here's one
It'd be better.
Question
Marvel would be
I'm going to throw to you. Magneto.
Yeah.
His origins are like heavily with like World War II.
Yeah.
How old can he be?
Yeah.
Because like, if we keep going, like, it's like...
Yeah, I mean, if we don't introduce him now, like
he realistically, like, unless he's also got some kind of thing that keeps him youngerish.
Well, how many years has it been since World War?
Here's how we cut all this out because we're gonna sound real stupid.
No, I'm just gonna do it on my calculator. I'm gonna cut it out and make it sound like I did it real fast. I mean, let's just say 1941. That's 77 years. So already, but he would have been old enough to be a child.
Let's say if he was 5.
I mean, which is young because he's usually depicted as like maybe 15 or something.
Really? I was going to say like 10.
13, 15. So he's like 90.
That's not I'm not worried about Magneto if he, you know what I mean?
I mean, how old is Ian McKellen?
Now?
Yeah.
Now he's probably in his 90s.
No, he's 79.
Oh. But how old was
Patrick Stewart's 77?
Let's see, that first X-Men came out in what?
Like the first X-Men movie came out like
2000?
2000, so 18 years ago they were like right at 60, 59, 60.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those ages made sense then.
Yeah. Like, are you fearful of a 90-year-old Magneto? Like, bro, just stab him.
I mean, yeah, but like...
with a plastic knife.
Who's to say the mutant genes don't affect their aging process a little differently? They do with Wolverine.
It's a little convenient, though, because then you got to have Charles and Magneto as...
You just kind of fudge the numbers a little bit on that. They're two of the most powerful mutants. So maybe fudge it a little bit there.
What do you mean by fudge it?
Fuck it, is what I'm saying. Just fuck it.
No. This isn't Fox Studios with... Yeah. Don't worry about the continuity.
Well, then X-Men. They just won't have... Then they just won't do the Holocaust origins.
That's kind of important to his...
I know,
his
it is.
Deal,
but
though.
It's one or the other. I mean, especially by the time we introduce... That's 77 years from now. Not when they... From now. Like, not when they actually show up in the movies. And I agree, it isn't really important. But, I mean, otherwise, you just fudge the numbers a little bit.
Like, with characters like the Punisher, you can kind of move what war he was in just because...
Yeah, you can always move the war that he's involved in. And from Captain America... You don't have to fudge it. You just say he was frozen for longer.
His shit is frozen.
Yeah. It would be really cool to see a flashback with Cap and Wolverine and World War II.
Did you hear about that? That was like an original idea? Yeah. Fuck.
But then they realized they didn't own the character.
How cool would that have been? Like, those two together, like, saving Magneto. Ugh.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It would have been really cool, man.
Yeah, it would.
I mean, dude, if we do... Dude, they can still do that. Just because it didn't happen in the Captain America movie doesn't mean we don't see it now. It's a perfect way.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Because I mean, dude, Wolverine. Oh, he ages much slower. Why can't other mutants?
Me and Carla were watching, going through all the old X-Men movies. Mm-hmm. You remember how we used to complain, like, oh, it's all about Wolverine?
Yeah.
It's not as much about Wolverine as I had remembered. It's like it's spread out a little bit with the other team. Like it's still Wolverine.
It's very Wolverine-centric, yeah.
But it's not as much as I had built it up in my head.
Yeah. They've made so many X-Men movies at this point, I don't know if they'd be able to pull it off. But
here's what I want to know about that first movie, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Remember at the end with the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah.
Why didn't Storm just fly up and just beat the fuck out of Magneto? It's like they raised Wolverine up. They took Storm and Jean to lift him up.
Yeah.
Or why couldn't Cyclops just blast him in the shoulder from where he was?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It was like, oh, Jean is going to stabilize him. Storm is going to lift his shit up. And then if that doesn't work, Cyclops can blast him.
It's all about just making every member of the team have some role in it.
Yeah.
If it was just Storm flying up there to do it, she would be...
Then the movie...
I mean, Wolverine also has the healing factor, so if he gets hurt, he'll heal.
Yeah, but why not just...
Cyclops
could have just shot Magneto in the neck or something.
I guess. I don't know. Remember how it was all... how it laid out.
Cyclops could have laid him out.
Yeah. I just wish they'd... I wish they would have done what we always talked about as they could do it now. They're not going to. Start off with the original 5 X-Men.
I'll bet you they will.
Do a movie, then add a couple more in the second movie.
Yeah.
And then in the third movie, those fucking claws are the logo for the teaser poster.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be the same damn teaser poster that they had for the Last Stand.
I don't give a fuck.
But yeah. Yeah. There's so many characters.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. You know how like for the Spider-Man Homecoming, they did like the old school Spider-Man theme?
Yeah.
I'll bet you $1 million that they'll do the 90s cartoon theme, but like all classical music type shit.
That's incredible.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yes.
I know that they're going to do it because that's what everyone wants. That's what everyone knows.
That would sound amazing, like in a full orchestra thing.
Like a bit like in the beginning, like credits.
Yeah.
And then like when like there's like got to be some big fight towards the end or something.
Yeah. Get Michael Giacchino to do that shit.
Hell yeah.
Wow. I like that idea a lot.
A lord.
Like a lord.
Man, that idea is smart.
Okay, so back to Spider-Man Far From Home.
So that's the title.
That's the title.
Okay, cool.
Kevin Feige confirmed it and everything, even though Tom Holland...
What are you going to do? You going to fire Tom Holland?
No, I mean, I think it was on purpose.
Okay.
It was done very, tongue-in-cheek. Like, I saw some people going, I think he did it on purpose. Like, really, you think? Like, it's so obvious kind of thing. I know you didn't see it, so...
Right.
But, that's from my... Yeah, it looked super fucking obvious. So basically what it sounds like they're going to take a trip to Europe. Him and his friends from school. Mm-hmm. And I think there's no way that Zendaya's character... What was her fucking name? Michelle? My friends call me MJ.
Yeah.
There's no way she doesn't figure out he's Spider-Man if she doesn't already know it. If they go to Europe and Spider-Man appears again, people are going to figure this shit out. When I hear Europe and I hear Spider-Man, I'm really hoping that Chameleon will have some kind of role in this movie. Mm-hmm. I know that they're saying Mysterio's the villain, and God knows that I've been wanting Mysterio for the whole time. And I think there's probably going to be more than just the one villain.
He's going to use that technology that Iron Man had for the hologram shit.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know he's going to do that. Right?
Mysterio?
Yeah, that's perfect though. That's right up his alley.
Chameleon could use something to that effect too.
If the two of them are doing that.
Yeah. I mean, Mysterio and Chameleon would be a good pairing of two villains to
Spider-Man's got to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, because
that's where Spider Sense would kick in.
Yeah, you have one guy that's maybe... I mean, dude, if they follow the Quentin Beck being a failed special effect, you have Chameleon be the actor.
There you go.
Be an actor involved and stuff. Mm-hmm. Maybe Spider-Man tries to break up something that he thinks is going on and it's really a movie.
Yeah, he's dumb enough.
Yeah.
I like how he's a little stupid.
He's always got to be a little stupid. Doesn't get what's going on. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're going to do that, but it would make sense. We've never seen that kind of story play out, in one of these. A failed Hollywood effects stuntman. That's his origin story.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
Peter Parker and Ned on the bus.
Yeah.
When he's like, Ned, I need you to create a distraction.
I don't think...
Do you think he was either A, he wasn't really listening to Peter, he saw the thing, he's like, we're all going to die.
Yeah.
Or when Peter said, I need you to create a distraction, he was immediately there for his boy. Which do you...
I personally subscribe to he didn't hear a fucking word he said. It's holy shit, we're all going to die. I love that. Which is still he's looking out for his boy even though he don't know it.
I kind of want it to be he didn't hesitate.
He
was
knew,
like,
yeah.
I got you.
Either way, it works.
Yeah. It's bro, I need you to create a distraction. We're all going to die.
Perfect distraction. All right. I've also heard, because Far From Home has multiple meanings and stuff.
Right, because I was taking it at, when you just told me, as, it's that, the multiverse type thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because what I had heard was, everyone that kind of got dusted just went to, the second Earth or whatever it's going to be called.
No, I think they go to the soul world.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
It's not like a multiverse thing. It's it's inside the stone kind of a whole, it's kind of like an afterlife thing almost that's specifically tied to the soul stone and stuff. And so I think all those characters are going to reunite there. Mm-hmm. And I think that would be really cool to see, if they do that. If that's when we pick up with Avengers 4 and you see what's going on with the surviving Avengers, but then we cut and check in on the other people in the soul world.
Yeah.
Kind of be just all standing around licking their wounds. What the fuck happened? Everyone's there. But Vision.
Fuck.
I think they're going to bring him back.
That was kind of haunting after I thought about it for a while, just the lifeless husk.
Yeah. Well, in the comics, during the West Coast Avengers stuff, that's what Vision looked like. He looked like a white and gray kind of version of Vision.
Yeah.
Version of Vision.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Well, we haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp yet. I know it's screened for press. as of this recording, it's coming out next week. When this drops, it'll probably be coming out this weekend.
So
this will come out before it comes out.
Do you know anything like when does it take place? Like officially? Like is it during?
Officially, I think it takes place right up around the time leading up to it.
Okay.
What I would say is it takes place, the bulk of the movie will take place before the events of Infinity War, before the snap, pre-snap. But I bet you we're either at the end of the very end of the movie, we will see, I think we're going to see, I bet you it's going to be Michael Douglas.
Getting dusted?
And maybe Evangeline Lilly, Wasp. I think they're going to get dusted. Something tells me those two are going to get dusted.
That's fucked.
Yeah. Or Michelle Pfeiffer gets dusted and it's like, fuck, like we just got her back. Uh-huh. But in that concept art that we talked about last week, Wasp is not in that. Mm-hmm. Either Wasp.
Interesting.
But, and there's not two Ant-Man. Although, wouldn't it be kind of cool to see, like...
4 of them?
All of them team up.
Yeah.
Like 2 Ant-Mans, 2 Wasps. It'd be kind of neat. Or it would be kind of neat if Michael Douglas and Evangeline Lilly get dusted and Janet Van Dyne, she's like, well, fuck, man. Like, finally got back to them and now they're taken away from me.
Yeah.
And her and Paul Rudd team up to get him back. Like, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, like, on that concept art is maybe she's there and she's just so small we don't see her. Like, the kind of Ant-Man argument. That's true.
It could be there all the time.
Maybe she's just not in the thing because they don't want to give away everyone who's in it.
Did you see that
maybe
meme?
Vision will come back and stuff like that.
Did you see that meme where it's like the little clip from Shaun of the Dead, but it's Hawkeye, like in the Winchester? Mm-hmm. It's like go down to the Winchester and have a cold beer and wait for this whole Thanos thing to blow over, and he's like this.
Oh, and it's fading away?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is.
And I think Ant-Man's like in the back by the bar.
Here's another thing. I hope this is true. It sounds like Egghead is going to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Character's name is Elias Starr. And there's a character named Elias Starr in the credits of Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think Egghead is one of Ant-Man's biggest villains from the comics.
Really?
Classic villains, yeah, like from the 60s and stuff.
Okay.
And he's going to be played by Michael Cerveris, who played Professor Pig on Gotham. I don't think I ever saw any of those episodes. I think that was a little after I dropped off Gotham. But flashbacks. This seems to hint to me flashbacks.
Okay.
I think you cast somebody bigger than just a guy that was on Gotham if you're going to have another villain that we haven't seen yet in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Uh-huh. We know Ghost is the villain in there, and we know Walton Goggins is playing a villain. He looks more like the suit type villain. And I think that as much as I don't want this to happen, I think it's going to. I think that Lawrence Fishburne, Goliath. I think Goliath is going to turn out to be a bad guy. I really don't want him to, but I think he's gonna.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, there's been multiple Goliaths in the comics.
Okay.
There's been like 4 or whatever, but I think Lawrence Fishburne's character, Bill Foster, I think he was the one that died in Civil War.
He was, yeah.
He was the only casualty in the comic book version of Civil War. Mm-hmm. He was killed by the clone Thor.
I remember that.
Yeah. And he was killed when he was in his giant form.
Yeah, so they had to bury that big ass body.
Giant ass grave.
God.
Yeah. Which is kind of a neat idea, like for comics and stuff.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah. I thought they were the one fatality in Civil War was gonna be War Machine.
Dude,
it's like, really?
I don't know how he survived.
Yeah.
He should have been dead.
That armor's pretty thick though.
I guess.
Like that's the only way he survived.
That is a terrifying thought, like like falling in that suit.
Yeah. I mean, good for him for getting back in it, like in Infinity War.
I don't know if I would.
I mean, maybe he can walk better in it.
Probably.
He probably can. It probably holds him up a little bit better. He probably feels more like himself in that than he does out of it.
That's an interesting character.
I did. Yeah, you know what? What makes me think about that? There is a Darth Vader novel pre-Disney buying Lucasfilm. It took place after Revenge of the Sith, and I bought it, read like a chapter of it. But one of the first things it said in it was just from Darth Vader's point of view. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I really liked the thoughts is, he lost his one arm in episode 2.
Yeah.
And then he had the robot replacement, and then he lost his other arms and legs in that. And he said that the one that he lost in episode 2, it felt more real to him than the others, because he was living with that one as a robotic attachment longer than the others. Huh. And I always just thought that was a really interesting idea.
It is.
Yeah, that's the only takeaway I took away from that book that I read a chapter.
I'd like for them to get into that a little bit more with War Machine.
Yeah. But I mean, so if Egghead is in Ant-Man and the Wasp, I hope he's not the reveal of the guy, like the big bad in the present day. I hope he's a flashback villain.
Okay.
Like, I want to see more flashbacks with Ant-Man and the Wasp, a younger Ant-Man and the Wasp, like Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, because those are the Ant-Man and the Wasp that I know from the comics and from reading the older comics. And I read a bunch of Ant-Man stuff, like the early stories and everything. Mm-hmm. And I like those characters a lot. I really like Janet. I think Wasp is a really great character, and Evangeline Lilly is cool. Like, I like the version she's playing, but she's not the same one from the comics and stuff. So I want to see how they play her, because still doesn't look like she's going to be like the Janet from the comics based on what we've seen of, like, just images of her at this point. We haven't really seen her in trailers and stuff. I saw a new trailer tonight for Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I haven't seen.
Is it good?
Yeah. Have you seen the one where he gets, like, stuck halfway?
No.
You haven't?
No.
It's like he goes to shrink down, and he's, like, kind of halfway. And he's just kind of, like, a child-sized. Or whatever, and like they're leaving, they're getting in the van, and he's running behind them to get in the van, and he just like kind of has to crawl up into it. And he says, "The guy, did you have fun at school, sport?" Michael Douglas. He's like, "You want a juice box and string cheese?" And he's like, "So, do you have those things?" But it was funny looking because he's really small. I was like, "Oh, I haven't seen that trailer yet." And I want to stop seeing stuff from this movie, but that was the only real thing that stuck out to me as something I haven't seen yet. Maybe a lot of people have seen that one already. I've been kind of trying to avoid more stuff.
Hang on.
This is an old Marvel episode.
Time to call for a ride. Get ready.
I don't think it's one of those. That's a TV spot.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I've seen that one too.
Oh, sorry. Of the summer. Hey, not cool. Come on, man. One time, please. Yes. I'm gonna call you Antonio Banderas. No. Antonio! Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, there's a lot of silly stuff in this movie, and I'm all for it.
Well, you gotta lighten it up after Infinity War.
Oh yeah. But so basically, going back to what I said is, I think someone's gonna get dusted at the end, and I think I've heard rumors, so this is not. I've been hoping that this would be it, or thinking it would be this, but I've also heard a rumor, and so that could corroborate what I'm speculating, and so this could be a possible rumor. Sorry if it is, I don't know for sure, but this is what I've heard. The post-credit scene could be Hawkeye's family getting dusted.
That's gonna be fucked up.
It's gonna be a bummer. Yeah, but that'd be the perfect, because he's the only one we haven't seen. Mm-hmm. If you end the movie with the Pyms getting dusted, and then the Bartons getting dusted in the post-credit scene, he's like, God damn it!
Yeah.
We just had a fun movie for an hour and a half, and then you reminded us of what fucking Thanos did.
Fuck Thanos.
Yeah.
Asshole, why don't he just make more stuff?
He could.
He could.
His whole thing is he's like erasing half the population so that they don't like all starve themselves to death and all this other stuff. Just make more food and shit.
Hey, Dick Nose, nobody put you in charge of that.
Make more resources, you fuck.
God damn it, what an asshole.
It's just the bad guy point of view. They look at the glass half empty, man.
Yeah. They gotta be like me and be positive.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just a fucking beacon of positivity. All right.
I would like to see Ant-Man and Hawkeye like team up real good. Again. Yeah. Because I don't know. Those two are just...
I want Hawkeye to be in this movie because they're the only two big ones that weren't in this one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I want to see that.
Mm-hmm. I want to see that Arrow and Ant-Man riding the arrow again.
I want to see him riding the arrow, then turning into Giant Man. That'd be amazing.
Hawkeye shoots the arrow into Thanos' ear. The Ant-Man is like on the tip of it, and he just.
It's like, really? You took all you guys? This is just 2 of us.
Like, if you get Mantis, Hawkeye, and Ant-Man, you can take Thanos out.
Yeah.
Easy.
So Deadline is reporting that Black Widow, they're circling a director right now. They're trying to find a director for a Black Widow movie.
I don't think that they would be doing the movie unless they really, they had a good story.
I think there is a lot of potential for a good Black Widow story.
Yeah.
Like, I think I've said this on the podcast before, but like my whole thing was going into Solo, I was like, I don't know if I want to see that movie. And then the more I thought about it in the couple years leading up to the movie's release, I was like, well, there's a lot of stuff they can do with the Solo movie. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stuff we know about that character that we haven't seen yet. And I think this Black Widow is a very similar situation. There's a lot of things we've heard about her and just all these things that we've never really seen expressed on screen. Mm-hmm. And so I think there's a lot of potential. And I think that we don't need... She could die in Avengers 4 and we could still get this movie because it could be a prequel. Yeah. It could be set earlier in the year, or earlier in the character's life, and you could still have Scarlett Johansson play her.
Speaking of that, you know what I would like? Like, if you have, whatever character or group of characters, set, before, they could even potentially do that in Captain Marvel, have someone run into young Tony Stark. Mm-hmm. When he's just a teenager or something. Yeah. That'd just be a fun little scene. You know what I mean? Just
yeah. Don't get me wrong. I really like the idea of the Fantastic... I like that idea that I said earlier about Fantastic Four getting introduced in the 60s. I just want to see them interacting with the other characters. Yeah. And so I don't know how to do that and tie it into it. Whereas... in 60s makes... If you're going to set it in a different time period, 60s mm-hmm. is the way to do it. Yeah. Because that's when they were introduced. Mm-hmm. That you can get a lot of really cool visual aesthetics and stuff like that. And I don't know, maybe you establish the characters and then find some way to disappear them for several years. That's like they're doing with Captain Marvel. But then again, how many times are you going to do that? They already did it with Cap, and we know they're doing it with Captain Marvel. Both the Caps.
Captain Marvel and Captain America... Well, Captain America is a little bit... I would put that in a different category. As far as time travel stuff. He was just frozen. Well, yeah, but basically what I'm saying is you establish them in one time period and then find a way for them to jump from that time period to another time period without actually aging that whole time. Yeah. Because I don't think Captain Marvel's going to age, because she's young. Mm-hmm. Brie Larson's young. And even if it is the early 90s or whatever, that's still almost 30 years. Mm-hmm. Don't tell me that.
Oh, it is. Fuck. I was born in 87. I'm 30. It's fucked up. But, it's at least 25 years.
That's still, I don't like it.
and it might be late 90s, but I always heard early 90s, 91 or something. Mm-hmm. And this was what I assumed for some reason. But, yeah, there's no way that Brie Larson is going to be 50. You know? Yeah. That's a lot of CGI. Yeah. I don't know how they explain that, and I don't know how they keep doing that.
Well, if she's more space, what do you call it?
They got good skincare in space.
Good no, cosmetics. I mean if you got all the space time travel stuff, that would make sense. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So yeah, what Deadline is reporting that they're trying to find a director. The front runner right now is they're all female directors.
Gross.
Which is great.
So it's not going to be a good movie.
Oh, God. He's kidding. Please, he's kidding. Kate Shortland is the front runner right now. She directed Lore and
So it's going to be a romantic comedy?
Please, you're just digging a hole here. But they're also meeting with Feige and Johansson. So she's involved with these meetings as well, Scarlett Johansson.
You know what I'm assuming? If they can, it's got to be... They got to have a good story idea, because if they can make me care about Guardians of the Galaxy, mm-hmm. then I'm sure that they wouldn't be going ahead with this if they didn't have a quality.
What, Black Widow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Black Widow is one that you don't have to do.
That's true. You don't have
Like,
to.
so if you're doing it, you better have a story.
Right.
Like, Thor is one you kind of have to do. Like, after
Cap,
the first
Thor,
one,
Iron
like,
Man.
you have to do a sequel and stuff,
Yeah.
and the sequel wasn't as great. And then at Iron Man, after the first one, and it made so much money, you have to do a sequel.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So, like, the second one wasn't ready to go. Like, I don't think. They turned it around in 2 years. That's the quickest they've ever done for a sequel, as far as that goes. Until Avengers 4, which they shot back to back, and that was all part of the plan. And they kind of wrote them as one big movie almost. Not really, but I mean, they knew there were two separate stories. But
Do you think Black Panther 2 is going to be kind of like Black Panther 1, where it kind of will stand on its own, or do you think they're going to connect it to... Because like the first one, you're able, I think, to just watch it on its own. But if
Yeah.
you've seen the other ones, it's kind of fun. Like it sprinkles in a little bit more for you.
yeah, I don't mind either way, honestly. If they
Yeah.
did just that, I always want to see more. I don't care if they stand alone. I'm seeing every movie anyway.
Right.
I don't give
Me
a shit
too.
if they stand alone or not. And all the people that like, oh, does this one stand alone because I don't want to see all the other movies? Like, you mean you haven't already seen all the other movies? What's wrong with you?
Bitch.
How are you living your life? It sucks.
Must suck.
All right. Black Widow, director list. Let me get through this. Amma Asante directed Belle. Kimberly Pierce, who directed Boys Don't Cry and the remake of Carrie. And Maggie Betts, who did Novitiate. They are all meeting with Kevin Feige and Scarlett Johansson for the position of director on the Black Widow movie. But Kate Shortland is a frontrunner right now. Don't do that. That's bad news.
Oh, okay.
You popped open a knife and held it to one of the cables
I
for our
thought that-
podcasting recording equipment.
I thought that would help with the echo.
No. Nothing's going to help with this fucking echo. All right.
All right, fine. Fuck.
I think we're going to cut it there.
Oh, cut it?
No. Don't stop doing visual gags on audio podcast.
But those are everyone's favorite.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They love them. I get the letters every week how much they love them.
Cowards.
All right. And with that being said, if you like this episode, do us a favor and subscribe to the Amazing Nerdiverse on iTunes or YouTube. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, all that good stuff. And follow us online on Facebook.com/The Amazing Nerdiverse, on Instagram @AmazingNerdiverse, and on Twitter, I am @Jeff_Grants.
I'm at Steven Tukert.
We are at Nerdiverse Pod. And go to TheAmazingNerdiverse.com for all that and very little more. And until next time, I'm Jeff Grants.
I'm Steve Tukert.
We'll catch you right here next time in The Amazing Nerdiverse.
Slap him. Mark it down.